Right, this is the true champion table. Right here. Championship table. WSOP 2026. Let's go. Cheers, boys. All right, friends. It has been a while. It is late May. What is it? May 30th, 2026. Beautiful Las Vegas. Awesome day. Yeah, so today is my first World Series of Poker event. I think it's flight D or E of the Mystery Millions 550 buy-in. Super excited. Have been looking forward to this World Series, obviously, since the last one. Going to obviously enjoy it. I know a lot of things have changed in terms of recording at the table. There's other rules, I think, which are for the better for the most part. But just in case we can record or we can't or whatever, I just want to do an intro. I'll try to show as much as I can at the tables. Of course, the venue has changed. There's an amazing, like, multi-million-dollar stage they've created with Gigi and WSOP. They're doing amazing things. So gonna really soak everything in as soon as I get there, figure out the parking situation. Hopefully that is, because if you've been there, you know, sometimes leaving that dreadful parking garage in a big event is just wild. So let's see what's going on. Of course, I'll fill you in on all the new happenings. And hopefully we run good and we pick up some bounties tomorrow, because I love this kind of format. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I'm gonna get in there, gonna make sure I drive safe. There's a lot of crazy drivers right now, and I'll talk to you guys when I get in there. Peace. Ta-da. Here we are, and here's an update on the beautiful, whatever that is, Hard Rock. Here is most likely where the new WSOP store is, right in front of Flavor Town. Alright, on the way to Horseshoe. Let's go. Oh, first look. Let's go. Thunderdome has moved locations. Blurry champ, but his year last year was a blur, I'm sure. That air conditioning is ridiculous. Look how much it's below. And your sweater. Alright, first break. We got like 49.5, started with 25K. Before I forget, the smoking area has now been opened again on the side of the Horseshoe place where the Thunderdome used to be, and which is nice if you want to smoke your things. And but it's also nice to get some fresh air. You can actually walk out, get some vitamin D, some sunlight, fresh air as soon as you walk away from that area. But that is good in case you didn't know. But yeah, so we got 49.5, start with 25K, insane first couple levels. So immediately go from 25 to 35, I believe it was, 34, with King Deuce of Diamonds. We open when the blinds are 200 to 500, and big blind defends. I bet super small on the flop, 3 diamond flop, by the way. King Deuce of Diamonds, 3, 4, 9 of diamonds on the flop, magic. And bet really small, like 1 BB on those monotone boards. If you got it or don't, if you want to bet really small, which we did to try to induce. And he did fall for it. He raised to like 1,500. Lovely, we just call. Turn is a 3, not the best card, but if he has value, that could help him. But he bets 3,500. We're not folding, especially in these early levels. And river is the 7 of diamonds now. And so now there's roughly like 10K in the pot and a little bit more. And he checks. He was very recreational, very jittery, almost in a way, looked a little nervous. 7 of diamonds on the river does for the 4th diamond, but we got 2 of them plus the king, which is pretty good. So we bet 4K, and he snap calls and is like, oh my god, when he sees my hand. So I have no idea what he had. He might have had a 3, might have turned bottom pair into a bluff and turned trips, but or maybe he just was bluffing with his muffin with a pair and a diamond, and luckily didn't have the ace of diamonds, but that was cool. So we go up to 35, and then pretty much the hand of the tournament so far. I am on the button. A new player just sits down, a young guy, but like in his mid to late 20s, sits down. He played a couple hands so far. Anyway, so I'm texting my friend because he's asked me where I'm at, and then I just look down at 2 red aces. Hello. And so he opens to 400. I make it 1500 on the button. Another new player just flats in the big blind, cold calls, okay? And then he calls as well, the original raiser. Flop is Jack 9-5 with 2 hearts. We have 2 red aces, and the big blind checks. The original raiser who called my 3-bet donk leads into us too. So pretty interesting lead. Don't know what to make of it in the time, in the moment, but I don't know, it's not bad. I was just kind of like, is he trying to name his price? He doesn't seem like that kind of player type to try to name his price with a flush draw or a straight draw. Just kind of check and flow, because you don't want to like give up your equity in case I raise. But I didn't raise, and I just flatted, kind of like under-repping my hand. Two hearts on the flop, so of course we're okay with another heart on the turn. But his donk lead, kind of like, if he's like kind of more recreational, sometimes you guys know that means like I'm betting my flush draw, I want to name my price. Anyway, so I just call his 2200 bet into roughly like 4800, 5000. So turn is a king of hearts, not the greatest card, of course. Like every draw gets there if he was just donk leading a draw. So it's Jack 9-5, 2 hearts, king of hearts on the turn. The Jack wasn't a heart, so he could have like Jack X of hearts, right? So he bets kind of sizable on this turn, and this kind of favors him, right? This range, the turn, it favors his range, but I could have kings, I could have jacks, I could have ace king, so it's kind of strong when he's betting into that, right? So I just flat his 4500 bet on the turn, and then river is an 8 of clubs, so Jack 9-5, king 8, 3 hearts, and he bombs it, leaving himself about 2300 chips. He bets about 14,500. So obviously it's kind of a weird spot, like, is he doing some value? It all comes back to the flop. What do you donk lead with? And then everything gets there, and then you're still firing into me. He's trying to make me fold a 1-pair hand. Maybe trying to get value because you got there after naming your price on the flop. Maybe. So I thought about it for a little bit and just like literally randomized with the seconds on my watch. If it was on the top half call, bottom half fold. After a few minutes, he looked pretty comfortable. I was in seat 9. This is a pro tip. If you're in seat 9, you can kind of see everyone's name on the little iPads that they have now, and you can see their flag next to their name, and he had a Canadian flag. So, and I saw his name. I didn't recognize his name, but like I saw a Canadian flag. So he's young, from Canada. He has access to online poker, like all those sites, GG, PokerStars, for all these years. So he could be a good player. So I know he's capable, and I just kind of like went with my kind of against my gut, I guess, and folded when I went with the randomizer on my watch. And yeah, so I didn't see what he had. And then, so that's that. And I'm still with, still have 26K in my stack at this point. And then, so I'm okay. So I'm back to kind of a little bit above starting. And then a few hands later, I'd raise and take it a couple times. So I raised this hand with Queen Jack suited. He, 2 callers behind, 2 kind of passive, weaker players. And then he's in the small blind, and it just looks like a great sweet spot, right? He 3-bets kind of sizable. And I'm just like, you kind of get in that game where it's like, F you, like, you're just trying to go after me because you knew I made a big fold that hand. You're trying to be the boss of the table. We were the only 2 kind of younger guys, even though he's probably like 10, 12 years younger than me. But at the table, so I'm just kind of like, okay, he's just trying to get after me. Let me just punt this right in his face. The other 2, this isn't like super meta or like whatever. But like when the other two callers behind call, they can have good cards, right? Unless they have like pocket fours or pocket threes, they're not blocking anything. But sometimes, you know, they have ace nine suited, king jack suited, and these kinds of hands. So when other people are in the hand, they call your raise, they could be blocking potential good hands, right? And I have queen jack suited, so queen jack of hearts. So I was just like, okay, well, maybe he's trying to pick up the dead money. He thinks he can just kind of bully me because that last hand, blah, blah, blah. So I just 4-bet punted right into his face. Other two callers fold, and then he just kind of hems and haws, and it's like I was going to just flat call, and then he tank calls after about like 45 seconds with tens. And I'm like, okay, well, fair fight. He had a value hand. He wasn't messing around. But it's fine, right? We're in a spot where we can rebuy 3 times. This is a turbo kind of donk fest where we're trying to accumulate chips for day 2 bounties. So it's whatever, you know, went with the gut instinct on this one. It's interesting folding aces and shoving all in the queen jack, but that is poker. But yeah, so we get there, jack 8-8, 7-4 like board, and we go right back up to 52,000, 53,000, and yeah, we're just kind of cruising. That guy ended up busting later on. Oh, I did ask him. So after that hand, he was really nice. Canadians, of course, are mostly nice people, and I was like, and he's all, you're just coming after me after that hand, right? And I was like, well, you know, I don't know. And he started laughing, and then I was like, what'd you have, if you don't mind me? And I'll tell you, of course. And then he said I had tens that hand, so he donk led jack 9-5 with tens and turned it into a bluff. Of course, I don't know if he had the 10 of hearts, but it was a good bluff because it blocks queen 10, which he could have led with maybe heart. And he was like, when you were tanking, I thought you might have had aces or something. So anyway, it ended up being a very interesting 2 hours. We're about right under a double buy-in, so we have 29.5, I believe. Sorry, 49.5. And we're gonna walk back up into this crazy jungle and get after it. All right, I'll see you then. All right, friends, here we are. Beautiful day in Las Vegas. I always like to give the POV shots, you know, because I love the sights and sounds of Las Vegas as much as I love to gamble and play and whatnot. So instead of a selfie cam, you can see my beautiful face the whole time. I'd rather show beautiful Las Vegas. So here we go. But update is pretty crazy. The first bullet is gone, down in flames. But we did battle. It was, so someone was playing pretty aggressive. She just had sat down, and for 30 minutes saw she was active and she was capable. Raise ace 5 of hearts from under the gun 2. She flats in middle position. Flop is ace 6 deuce, 2 diamonds, 1 heart. Pretty good for ace 5 hearts. And it's about 6,500 in the pot. The blinds are about, or the 800 I made at 2.2k. So bet 2,500 on the flop. She calls. Turn is a black 7. I kind of check to pot control, but also to induce, of course. And she does oblige, and she bets. And she bets 7,500, so about 80% of the pot. So obviously she got a lot of draws here. Just kind of getting after it, because if I'm checking, I could just be betting on an ace high board and giving up on the turn when she calls. But I bet small enough that she can call with a lot of hands. And so obviously I call with a strong hand. And then the river is a king that doesn't complete the flush. And she bets about 15 or 16 big blinds, about like 13.5k. Kind of looks like a value bet, but also my hand, I guess, looks like an ace, or maybe it looks like 9s or 10s that just didn't believe, and is now kind of, she has to bet, you know, to get me off of it. She got queen jack of diamonds, 9-10 of diamonds, a small pair she's turning into a bluff. Probably not betting like if she had king queen of diamonds. She showdown value on the river. But long story short, we tank. She kind of gave off a false tell, which you guys should kind of look for. Obviously take it with a grain of salt, but she put on her hoodie and then zipped it up like what's his name, that German pro who does it all the time. I forgot his name. He's a very good player. And zipped it up, and when someone's trying to look weak, right? Or like, don't look at me, they're usually strong, right? So of course I called in, right? Because duh. And anyway, she has pocket sevens and she turned the set. So didn't get, kind of like lost 70% of my stack there. Pretty gross spot. She obviously had a price to call on the flop. Got there on the turn and it kind of looked like value, but all the draws missed and gross. I kind of had to call. I guess I didn't need to. But sometimes those chips that you save don't, you know, you're not like obligated to be in push shove mode afterwards if I do save that 13.5K. But the very next hand I have 9-7 of clubs, 12 bigs, defending the big blind against an active player, raised under the gun about 2.5x, and button calls. And then the flop is queen king 4, and I have 2 clubs, and I have the 9-7 of clubs, and I check, oh sorry, the small blind checks, and then I donk shove right into the pre-flop raiser. Looks, you know, relatively strong, I guess, or I don't know, just hoping he doesn't have a king, but if he does, we have equity, right? He think folds and the button folds, so pretty good. We scoop up something like 5 bigs, 6 bigs with 9 high there. He said he had ace 10, and if I had 2K less, he was going to call. Okay, so, and then the very next hand after, I was just 3 hands in a row, bang, bang, bang. And sometimes you just want to take a break in between some hands so you can just kind of gather yourself, right? Especially when they're emotional, and you're trying not super emotional as a $500 tournament, but you know, like your adrenaline's rushing, you're dejected when you get sucked out on, you're like whatever. This is like back to back hands, right? So the last hand in this bullet, I have king 10 of spades. This player on the button, I'm in the small blind, active players in the big blind. He has about like 100 bigs or so, 80 bigs. Button player raises to 2.2x or something, and kind of I have king 10 of spades, like I said, but it's kind of like the alarm bells kind of go off in these spots, because it's like, why is he raising into a big stack? Like, he would probably choose a better spot if he was stealing, so he was probably more value heavy. And I have king 10 of spades. I have like 19 bigs at this point, kind of ran it up a little bit from the 12 I just had, and just like hoping for some folds. Maybe he has some raise folds there, maybe he has a queen jack or something like that he had to raise. Maybe we're ahead sometimes. Anyway, I shove, kind of enough spidey senses were tingling, and he had ace queen and just obviously called and held. And that's a thing right there too. It's just like when kind of like a smallish stack is raising into a big stack, unless they're a crazy person too, like they're kind of more weighted towards value there in most cases, and this was one of those cases, so rip that bullet. But then just bought in again right after and have like 27,000, won a flip, 3-bet shoved with ace jack to a 2.5x raise on the button. The guy has queens, rip, lose that 2x, double up, so back to starting stack. But I have a 2,800 now, and the blinds, I think, sorry, 28,000 now, and the blinds are 1,500, so hanging in there. This tournament is an absolute turbo crazy situation. There's about 6,000 people so far reg, and it's only 3:35, so ton of people have been in and out of the tournament, registering, getting back in. The Wsop app is amazing for that. Make sure you sign up and make sure your debit card or your PayPal account and all that stuff is all good, because it is so huge. Like, come if you want to register and get that verified. I would suggest coming at late night, like, you know, like 1 a.m., 12 o'clock. A lot of people are up already in Vegas at that time. So just kind of go and register your account, show your ID if you haven't come in the last, maybe it was last year actually it got implemented. Super awesome, Wsop. It's like the best thing. Of course, it makes you like not scared to punt and or like whatever gamble, because you're like, I can just register and not wait in the damn line. I can just register on my phone really quick, and then I'm right back in it like 20 seconds later, and that is amazing. But of course can get you in trouble if you're like in a $10 rebuy like we used to do on Poker Stars. It kind of feels like that sometimes, but luckily it's only limited to 3 entries in this one. So anyway, that is the update. We're still in there, trying to spin it up, and then let's see if we can build something up for day 2 where the bounties are in play. Alrighty. We are on. Oh, I fair fight. Sketchy indeed. Good luck in the next one. GG. All right, ladies and gents, that beautiful in and out sign. So we are rolling. Got 110K. I think the level is, what the fuck? It was just 2,000. So this is an impromptu break because of late reg ending or something. So I never knew that they would take like a full break, 20 minutes because of this, but it is what it is. So I did record that ace king hand. This lady who was kind of playing tight, whatever, reminded me of the players I used to play with back in my local casino. She limped under the gun. Limp called my shove. She had jack 10 hearts, and thankfully a jack 10 or a heart did not come. You guys probably saw that right before this. I'll clip it in there. But the hand I didn't clip, that took me to 60K. Under the gun 1 limped, under the gun +1 limped, and then this nice gentleman in middle position made it 3.5x. The blinds are at 2K, and we looked down at 2 black 10s, and I don't know if his sizing was like just 3.5x. You know, if he had like kings, aces, I feel like he was gonna raise a little bit bigger with 2 limpers, because everyone would have been priced in. Like, it was kind of like a weird raise. But yeah, so anyway, nothing we can do really except just, I think, 3-bet jam it in there. We had 60K at this point, so it's 30 bigs on my end, and he had like just right under that 27 or something effective. Anyway, under the gun 1 folds, under the gun 2 folds, the blinds obviously fold, and he says if you got it, you got it. Calls with 2 8s, ran out clean, 10 on the river, bang. Got us to like 115, I think, peak. But now we're at 110 on this random ass break, so it's a crazy structure, because I think it says like 7,000 almost have registered, and there's like 2,500 left. So let's see what happens with max late reg right now. I'm sure that may be why they have this impromptu break after just 2 levels. But let's see what happens. But yeah, it's definitely a turbo structure, trying to ride the waves and see what happens. Beautiful Las Vegas, huh? With the sphere, no doubt. And some people yelling, of course. Yeah, they're good. It's very interesting. Yeah, so you didn't need to be honking. Yeah. There we go, Las Vegas. There were some sights and sounds. Typical Tesla driver. And, but yeah. Anyway, let's get back in there and have some fun.
25.
The OKC hate watch. What's going on? Get him, Wemby. And yeah, we're on dinner break. Still in there. I think about 180 or so till the money. It is been a grind. It was really good. What's his name? Dylan Weissman. Just name him. Very good player to sat to my left. He's been active. Luckily, or not, I mean, he's rich enough. Luckily, he hasn't been able to get anything going. He's been super aggressive, 3-betting and 4-betting. He 3-bet folded ace queen to someone earlier, so he's been having good hands. But as for us, kind of not as much. We're up to, good boy, we're up to 150. We're at 105 currently. Dogs of the vlog. And we were up to 150. Now we're down to 105, but the blinds are huge. They're like 6K. And we are in there. This person's pretty weird. She's trying to talk to me. I think she's this person right over here. No, get the hell away from me. She'll stop. And then so we're trying our best to, I don't know if you guys saw that. I was trying to like play it off, but she was saying some crazy ass stuff to me. I don't know what she was saying. I don't know if she's following me, but at least it's on tape. Yeah, anywho, you guys always got to watch your back. You know, never know where you are, especially in Vegas, of course. Even if you're in Beverly Hills, watch your back, because I don't know who may be on the hunt for something. But we're on the hunt for chips, and we are currently just kind of grinding, changing gears. We're not really forcing the action. There was one hand we defended in the big king queen, could have 3-bet, but I don't know. And the flop was 3 diamonds. We had king queen with the queen of diamonds, jack 4-5. C-bet, the guy C-bet small blind called, who has been very splashy and very, very recreational. And then I just called too with 2 overs and the queen eye flush draw. Ace of clubs on the turn, so we have a gutter. And the guy barrels the original razor. I don't know, it's kind of a tough spot, but he bet sizable too, like 60%, 70% pot, and just kind of thought about it. He could have the ace high flush draw, and we're just drawing to a 10. He could be just in there with good hands, better than a king high. But just like when he doesn't give up on the flop, when he bets into 2 people, it's kind of like indicative of a good hand, right? So we just kind of folded and tucked our tail in between our legs in that one. But we're in there, trying our best. This is the first tournament, a little bit rusty, but feeling good that the second buy-in is kind of going well. But let's make it go better. All right, let's get back in there. Holy crap, they did it. OKC hate watch complete, vindicated, and we're almost in the money. Let's go. I didn't bet 1 damn cent on this game, just for the love of the game. I hate those flopping bastards. Let's go.
Bravo, 459.
Need better.
I think I got it. I was in one seat for the past 5 hours. I think I had to check in everybody in both.
Right, this is the true champion table. Right here. Championship table. WSOP 2026. Let's go. Cheers, boys.
Like he complete the hand that you're on, so your players on a 20-minute break once again.
Not in this hand, but 10-10. 3-bet, 10 flop, flat, ace, queen of diamonds. End of the night. Easy game, 10 on the turn. Alright, we're no longer in the tournament, but we're still at beautiful Paris, Las Vegas. I'll tell you guys about the hand after. 750 bet. I think we're in for 4. 4 mansions sounds about right. 10-cent denom. Let's get 1 grand coin one time. Grand coin, grand coin, grand coin, or wheel. The big ones. Coins. No, oh my god. The worst, the worst, the worst, the worst. You gotta be kidding. Oh, 400? Okay, I mean, that's crazy. I thought we were on 5-cent denom, so I was disappointed, and then not disappointed, and disappointed again, because we were on 10-cent and could have got so much bigger. Alright, whatever. Back to back, genius. Alright, well, we'll be back. The amazing back to back on Alpha and Pop. Alright, we're back. Right back in it. 6 hats. Let's get some hello? Re-triggers? Oh my goodness. 1? You gotta be kidding me. Okay, well. 750 bet again. Huh? Let's get 2 mansions and we're happy. Oh! I thought I was coming down 1. I'm getting more furious by the second. Alright. Maybe this game is just trying to tease us. Successful job, Huff and Puff Grand. Man. I mean, so exciting to get bonuses on this fun game. Get so much. Majors 1,000. Grand's only 7,500. Only, quote unquote. Okay, what is that? 70? It's probably back right exactly where we were before the other bonus. Alright. Let's see. Back to back to back. Okay. Oh my god. Huff and puff. You gotta be kidding me. There's values that small on mansions. Wow. Wow. I got a 5 buzzsaw trigger. I don't know what the hell that means. Okay. 5 buzzsaw trigger. Oh my god. Is it just a mega hat? I got 5 friggin' buzzsaws. You gotta be kidding me. Grand would have been much preferred. Okay. 5 buzzsaws. Oh, they all count as hats? Okay. Oh, okay. So it does have some advantage. $10 bet. That's a good one. It makes a few of those. Alright. Let's go. Come on. You gotta be kidding me. What was that first spin? Come on. One more mansion. Hello? Okay. $10 bet. We got 5 buzzsaws, and it yielded 2 mansions. Okay. 10 cents. What do you got, Wolfie? $50. 2X Spice Girls. By the way, we're at Paris. Coins. 2 majors. Coin. Mini 100. Okay. 300. Okay. Well, thanks for 5 buzzsaws. That's pretty rare and hard to get, right? Right. Alright. Okay. Alright, let's see what we're gonna do next.